Robin, got a question for you. Oh, Robin, please tell me the truth. Who is Ananias? Who is Sapphira? Can you give us the answer? Please don't be a liar, Robin. I got a question for you. Oh, hear me, Robin. Better tell us the truth. Okay, here's the deal, Robin. On the 14th of March, we know from the coroner's report that Joe Villagio died at 430 Thomas. Now that is, we believe, your office. So we believe that Joe died in your office on the 14th of March. Doesn't seem to be any problem with the response on the part of the fire department. They got the call. It's like 5 minutes later, they're there. But I do have a couple of questions, Robin. What happened before they got there? That's a reasonable question to ask. And yes, we are asking it because it's important. And then on the 16th of March, in your Sunday service in this building over here at Church International, your wife spent maybe 2.5 minutes talking about Joe, encouraging people to pray for Cynthia. And then a day or two later, you have the funeral that lasted, what, an hour or less in this building over here, Church International. But you don't show up? That doesn't sound just a wee bit curious? Because I looked up the obituary, Robin, and it's got a lot of information. Joe was involved in a church in New York, and then in, '03, moved to Eagle Mountain and spent time with Kenneth Copeland, like 20 years. He and his wife, faithful, loving, sweet, talented, gifted servants of the Lord, and they pick up and they relocate to Warrior, Alabama to be a help to you. And then a couple of years later, this man dies in your office and you don't even show up at his funeral. And then on the 6th of April, you start talking about Ananias. Surely you're not talking about Joe, are you, Robin? But so here's the thing, Robin, I've got a challenge for you. You have endeavored to bring the whole nation around and gather them together around this notion of a timeline that begins with the Ananias and Sapphira moment. Well, Robin, I would say to you, you need to produce Ananias and Sapphira. Where are the bodies, sir? In Romans 13, we're subject to the higher powers, are we not? The government? So there would have to be a paper trail on the bodies of Ananias and Sapphira. And if you can't produce them, I would suggest that you're a liar, sir. And I would also suggest that if you're calling Joe Villagio a dear, sweet, faithful brother, beloved in the body of Christ, if you're trying to call him Ananias without coming out and saying it, well, sir, then you're definitely a liar. But maybe you're not. Maybe you have an explanation. Maybe you can explain why you didn't show up to the funeral for Joe. And maybe you can explain who Joe Villagio, or rather who Ananias actually is. But until we get an explanation, you're under intense scrutiny, sir. And with that, I wish you, not shalom, but I wish you, it's a day of reckoning, and it's a day of answers. It's the time of the questions before the Lord. It's the time of questions that should have been asked before, but we're asking them.